Today on The Real.
It was always something that haunted me.
In depth.
I tried to rescue as many people on the plane as I could.
Open.
I just ran for my life.
Vulnerable.
About 15 seconds later, the plane blew up.
Travis Barker opens up only to us.
I honestly thought it was going to be lights out.
The Real.
Well, it's a great day because we get to talk about our girl Twinkle Toes and Dancing with the Stars. You killed it last night. What was the name of that dance?
It was called a Paso Doble.
Okay, and you dedicated that dance to your sister Tony.
I did.
Why?
Well, it was. Well, you know, it was Idol Week, right? And honestly, I do feel like I wouldn't even be sitting in this chair had it not been for her. And yes, and her generosity and, you know, and showing me all the ropes of the business and just giving me the opportunity to sing her backgrounds. Yeah. And then that turned into writing songs with her and for her and then for other artists. And then I decided to perform to Born This Way as paying homage to her and Gaga as well because had Tony not given me that look, you know, people wouldn't have taken me seriously as a singer. And then that opened the door to sing on such an amazing, huge song, such as Born This Way. So I did that in honor of Tony and Gaga.
Can you explain people, because a lot of people, I can't believe that when you say, forget things like that. When she's like, oh, I'm on Born This Way, a lot of people don't know. You guys, when you hear the song Born This Way, the backgrounds and the chorus of that song is actually Tamar singing with Gaga. Isn't that crazy? I know. Yeah, you're doing the backgrounds on it, but that's so dope.
But I love that you're so humble. You kept that to, like, we don't even know that.
I
didn't even know that. This is my first
time. Shoot, I would have had that on my forehead. Born This Way. That's my vocal.
I would have taken credit for it.
Showed up at the award ceremony.
No, but you know, really, honestly, Tony has been such an influential person in my life. Like, not just like being a big sister, but really being pretty much everything I need. Like when I need to go to her for advice, you know, she need to come to me for advice. I give her men advice because she need a man. Tony Braxton needs a man.
Hey!
She's an amazing person, and I love you so much, Tony. Thank you for everything.
That's sweet. Love that. Well, girl, not only did you kill your idol dance, which is the Paso Doble, you had to learn 3 other additional dances.
Yeah.
So, girl, you learned 4 dances?
Yeah. Yeah, it was tough. Let me tell you something. I didn't get that Paso Doble till about 3 o'clock.
Wow.
Me and Jeannie watched it. We were there, and we were literally like, yo, she looks like she's having fun. That's about during the dance, like you were in your own world, just getting it.
Yeah, and I love that when you dance, Tamar, we get whisked away too, and you forget that you're watching. You just get into it, and you kind of, I know I'm watching her so hard because I'm moving. I'm moving like she is. I'm like, yes, yes.
Now, how long is this going on? Because I know you've been on for some time.
Yeah.
Well, actually, the finale week is the week of Thanksgiving.
Oh okay.
Yeah, so it's only like 3 more weeks to go.
Right.
Are you
but I'm having the time of my life, friend. Yeah, it's a good time.
You're doing amazing. We're so proud of you.
The fans are amazing. Like, you all are amazing. The fans are amazing. Thank you guys so much for voting for us. Like, it means a lot to me.
I can't believe you're doing so much.
Well, we love you, Tay-Tay.
I love you back.
Okay, it is time for some girl chat. Okay, listen to this, guys. Ariana Grande has been speaking out against objectifying women when somebody tweeted comparing her body shape to actress Ariel Winter. The tweet said, God asked if I prefer Ariel Winter or Ariana Grande, LOL. It would definitely be Ariel Winter's curves are sexy, sticks aren't.
Wow.
Ariana hit back that these comments are not okay and that we live in a day and age where people make it impossible for anyone to embrace themselves exactly how they are. Diversity is sexy and objectifying and labeling is not.
I agree with that.
I agree with that as well.
That was a long tweet.
That was a long
That was
tweet.
more than 140 characters.
That was like 4 tweets.
Yes. So, Adrian, have you ever been labeled by the way you look?
For sure. I think, you know, I was talking to Tamar about this. You know, for a long time, I couldn't understand. I get that, like, I own that I am sexual, that I enjoy that. We talk about that up here. But I think there is a difference between being sexual with one person that you are in love with versus being sexual with everybody. There is a major difference, and I own that, you know. And I think for a while, I guess because for something I'm exuding, sometimes was sending a message that no matter who I stood next to, I could literally stand next to a guy that I felt was my brother. Somebody else could do the exact same thing, and he'd be like, oh my God, look at her, they're like brother and sister. But if I stood next to them,
you kicking it
automatically we were having sex. I'm having sex with them and all their guy friends. It's one grand, like, and that would hurt me. I'd say, why is it that either because I'm curvy or I like to be sexy, that I have to be viewed as a slut?
Well, you're just, honestly, Adrian, you're just naturally sexy.
Right.
And that's a beautiful thing. You're not sexy in the way where it's just like, you know, it's just too much.
How? What's that face?
No, it's
but
true.
It was upsetting to me that no matter, literally, it could be my cousin, and I would stand in a photo with him, and the blogs would say, this is Adrian's new man. They were, you know, having sex on it. Like, you're like, where do you get this from? Like, that's not true. That's not correct. And it was hurtful.
You know what's crazy? It's insane that social media is like the schoolyard of today. Like, you know when you're sitting in the schoolyard and people just shout things at you and make fun of you or say things in front of people? That's what I feel like it is now. And what's crazy is when you read this, I actually, for a second, there's 2 parts of my mind. There's one part of my mind that just thought certain things since I've been a kid, and then the womanly side of my mind today that reminds me different. And when you read the first tweet, I actually thought, oh my God, being skinny isn't like, being sticks and skinny is not sexy. And I used to feel that a lot because—
But who said that?
Yeah.
I'm always on a diet.
But you know what though? I mean, today in in media, curves are sexy, like boobs and butt and hips, and those are things I never grew up with. Like, I've always been made fun of skinny legs.
My husband—
so you don't see it as that, you know?
My husband always says, you know, because I think beauty comes in all different shapes and sizes.
Absolutely.
I do think you're sexy, Jeannie. I do.
Absolutely.
And she know it, honey.
Yes,
you should
she
see her.
does.
You should see her with a cocktail.
My husband says confidence is sexy.
Absolutely.
So it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
You know how you look at working on that now post baby, but
yeah, but I'm gonna be the first to say it's not. Honestly, the only thing that saved me is not to have confidence, but to have what I call Godfidence. Godfidence, like understanding that I was built the way He made me,
And
like
his own
really.
creation.
That's
Preach.
Yeah,
You've been reading that Bible, girl.
In His
but
image.
that's the only thing that I go for. It's the only thing that'll remind me. When I sit there pointing out things, I'm like, I'm criticizing a piece of work that somebody worked to make.
that He made.
Yes.
What do you think, Lonnie?
Well,
What, Lonnie?
She works on my nerves.
what?
Go
No,
ahead.
because we're in this business and people do that.
Yeah,
I mean, you go from the extreme of, okay, people call you a stick. Well, people call me too big, all right?
Yeah.
And, you know, you just have to learn to be strong. And I want to give it up to Ariana because, you know what? Speak up for yourself. If you feel like somebody, especially on social media, it used to be a time in social media, they would tell you, well, don't answer anybody, leave them alone. No, now it's called clapback season. Okay? You clap back at those people that's doing you and saying wrong things to you that upset you. Because you have feelings too. And I think that's how we grow as a nation and as a community, because we realize that everybody is different. And wouldn't it be boring if we were all thin or all fat or, you know, all beautiful? We need some tree monsters in the world. Ain't nothing wrong with
You and this tree monster.
You know what I will have to say is my favorite? Sometimes
Somebody would think that tree monster is an emoji.
Absolutely.
Yes.
But what I love is when our fans draw pictures of us and they show us all in a range, and that gets me excited to see how unique and gorgeous we each are when they draw those pictures.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
I
but
don't
some
think
of
about
them
that
drawings don't be accurate. Some of them are hilarious.
Yes. You guys, for those of you who draw it, my eyes do open. I really don't need the...
And they had one where I was just a shadow. I was like
oh my God.
I was like a black dot with an orange top on. I was like, really? Really? It's like, and they had one where your boobs was like out like
Guys, they're not exactly. Oh my God.
But we appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you
do.
very much. But some of y'all.
Shadow. Horrible. So you crazy. Us women are crazy. Sometimes
we are crazy.
And critical of ourselves, right?
Very.
So from what women don't want to what they do want, right?
Yes.
Relationship expert April Massini, is it Massini? Massini says that geeks and dorks and nerds are the new jocks. Ooh. Because, yes.
I agree.
A respectable woman. Check this. Don't miss it.
What?
Because a respectable woman wants to date a man she can have an intelligent conversation with.
Yes.
I'm just over here going to church.
You guys, I have to say, Adam is a mixture of both. Adam, I call him a geeky jock, because Adam actually played baseball all his life, but he actually is a little nerd. And I love it. I was actually attracted, you guys, to his mind first, exactly like you said, Jeannie. I crave just having dinner with my husband, not just to eat, but like just to sit and like hear what he's gonna say.
You
like,
wanna gaze
what are
in
we
his
gonna
eyes.
what are we gonna talk about?
That is the
foreplay.
Yes, it is.
Watching a man speak and teach you things, and the conversation is intelligent.
And
it's
using big
mental.
words, you be like, what that mean?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, that is so sexy.
But see, that's what happens when you date. When you actually go out and have dinner and sit down and have a conversation, that's when you can find out if a man is actually intellectual or if he just,
Oh my God, a man who is cultured. Oh my God. Please, like, I need you to order something other than the shrimp scampi. Like, we gotta.
Or chicken fingers, dog.
Chicken fingers
and Caesar salad. Hold up. We ain't doing that again.
Guys, those are all amazing, but those are great foods. I like a chicken finger once
every now and then, but dang.
That can't be everything. Like, there's nothing sexier than watching a man order a great glass of wine.
Or look at the wine list.
And they know how to of it. And they know how to pronounce it.
Yes.
You know,
they're like, yo, can I have some Merlot? No, it's not Merlot.
Baby. It's not Merlot. And that's why, and you know what? Even if you're, single, hang around smart people.
Yes.
You know, Dr. Drew is my boo for a reason, okay?
Dr. Drew is so handsome and hot to me because of how
And he's
smart he is.
smart, too. And he always teaches me something when I'm with him. And he always picks up the check. That's why I love him. I love you, boo.
All right, check this out, guys. David Beckham apparently was not too happy when he got mistaken for Ricky Gervais when at Soul Cycle recently. Though David stayed quiet and didn't correct the passerbys who confused him for the comedian. Jeannie, why are you making that face?
Because I just can't imagine David Beckham. Like, I can't
You don't think they
imagine
look
it.
alike?
I do see it, but I wonder, I wish I was there to see his face.
Well, I want to know, do you ever get mistaken for another celebrity? And if so, how do you feel about it?
Okay, for those of you who haven't met me personally, I'm Jeannie Mai, not to be mistaken for Brenda Song.
Yes!
Yeah!
Oh my God! No, I can kind of see it.
It's really beautiful.
You guys,
I can kind of see it.
America, I need you to know, not all Asians look alike.
You look like
Just alike.
Y'all look alike.
You look like twins.
Y'all look like cousins or something.
Brenda was from the Disney show. Brenda was from the Disney show, The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. She's a great friend of mine, and she's beautiful, but I don't think you guys look alike.
Okay. She tried it.
And you know what's crazy? Like, I get mistaken like this all the time, you guys. If I go to Target, parents come up to me and they're like, my daughter really wants to meet you. It's happened so much, I accept it now.
You did.
If you come to me, I signed her autograph.
B-song.
No, I put BS. Love you. Every time.
You signed for her,
I will accept it fully. If a paycheck comes my way, I'm absolutely accepting it.
That's cool.
100%. All the time. I can't believe you guys think I look like her.
I get mistaken for myself all the time.
Yeah.
What?
You
You do?
Yeah, people come up to me, you that lady from The Real? I'm like, I hate that lady. Don't you?
Shorty! Are you being serious?
Every time I go through the airport, it's like, you look just like her from The Real.
So wait. Well, Tamara, who do you get mistaken for?
Really, Adrian? People always mistake me for my twin sister, Tia. But I love it.
That's
I
usually
do.
how that
Honestly,
works.
I always say, well, yeah, it's 50-50. You know, it's either Tia or Tamara.
Yeah.
But sometimes, this is the only thing we both don't like, though. Literally, it could just be one of us, and they go, hi, twins. Tia here? Oh,
You're kidding me.
Swear to God. Or they go, Tia-Mara? I go, yes, my name is Tia-Mara.
Tia-Mara. Well, you guys, listen up to this. Now, you know that I love an emoji, right? You guys know I love emojis. Well, I love them too, Adrian. You do. Obsessed. Tamar does too. She's trying to front over here.
Nah,
all right, well,
conversation.
since it's not just me, it's Jeannie. 74% of us use emojis every day, right?
Every day.
Yeah. My favorite is the... What I want to know is, where's the icon of a woman with curly hair? Where's the curly hair emoji? They all got straight hair. So, I just feel like this hair right here needs to be represented on emoji. Yes?
I know. I agree, Adrian.
Yeah.
Where's my curly hair emoji?
Exactly.
And I'm all for, you know, my natural curls, you know, but listen up, ladies, because we curly hair girls can now express ourselves accurately because Dove Love Your Curls campaign is back, and today they're launching their first ever curly hair emoji giveaway! I love it!
See y'all out there with your bouncy curls. Shake them, shake them.
Now, by now, you should know that one thing I do not have time for, honey, is when people try it, all right? But people are doing this all the time, and some of you don't want to admit it. No. Admit it. Get your life, okay? Well, she's here to help you. So have several seats, honey, because it's time for You Tried It. You tried it. They tried it. Oh, she tried it. You tried it. Trying it in the air. What do we have today?
All right, well, feeling it in the air?
Yes.
To start, we've got a video question from Tyler Noel in Melbourne, Florida. Take a look, you guys.
Okay.
Hello ladies, my name is Tyler Noel. I'm from Melbourne, Florida, and I'm 18 years old. And I recently went on an audition, and I thought I did awesome. Like, I think I nailed it. And then I told my best friend of like 3 to 4 years about it, and he like let me down. He told me that you probably didn't even make the video or make the cut because you have a gap in between your teeth and you have huge curly hair. Now, was he throwing shade or not?
That's so mean.
He tried it. Like, for real? I mean, that's not your friend, boo.
Yeah.
Okay? First and foremost, if he's talking about your curls and your gap, like, this is how you've been feeling about me? That's not, let me tell you something. My mother always says, you can't lose a friend that you never had.
That's right.
Cut him loose.
That's right.
Peace in the Middle East. How about that?
I love that.
Stay away from people like that. They ain't your friend.
No, that was trying it to the max.
And let me tell you something. Haters ain't always far away from you. Sometimes your biggest haters is right next to you, making sure you don't make it. How about that? Cut that fat, baby, and get your life.
That is
Okay, we got another one, Tay. Next up, Jay Denise in Las Vegas wrote in and said, so my boyfriend and I have been together for 2 years. I'm pretty acquainted with his family, but I notice sometimes when him and I are having a conversation and his sister comes in to join us, they say certain things in Spanish when they can say it in English right in front of me. I know I'm going to have to learn Spanish at one point, and I'm trying, but I feel left out of my own conversation, and it's a little offensive to me when they do this. Do you think this is something to be offended by, or is it no big deal?
I don't know about you, Jeannie, pero para mí, yo siento que cuando yo quiero hablar en español, yo lo puedo hacer porque es mi primer idioma. Y como yo soy latina, yo siento que yo sí puedo hablar en español cuando yo
Stay with it, boo. Because you're trying it right now. I don't know what you're saying about me.
What if
I don't condone, because I don't know what you're saying. First and foremost, I don't care what they're talking about, okay? You speak English around me. And they know that she don't know Spanish.
That's true.
Okay, so
yeah.
the sister is trying you. How about that?
That's true.
She already know. And she probably popping out her mouth about her. Because just like she's bilingual, you can speak English. You can say, boo, do you want some French toast and you want some eggs Benedict? You can say that. You have to say that in Spanish.
French toast y también huevitos.
No, I don't know what that means. Sit down. She's trying. Now, let me tell you what I suggest you do. You either get you Rosetta Stone on your phone and practice a little harder. And if he's that, you know, significant in your life, be like, boo, let me explain something to you. Don't be speaking that Spanish stuff around me because you know I don't understand it.
That's right.
Don't do that.
Last week, Blink-182 drummer Travis Barker came by the show. He was here to promote his new book, Can I Say, Living Large, Cheating Death, and Drums, Drums, Drums. In his book, Travis recounts the harrowing plane crash he survived, which sadly took the lives of 4. When we sat down with him, he shared the moving story of this tragedy and its effect on his life since that fated day. I started things out by asking him how he became one of music's biggest drummers. Take a look. You know, I'm from the Bay Area, and I never missed a Warped Tour, and Blink-182 gave me all of my life. All of it. Do you guys remember? Seriously. You guys were killing it. So who got you into drums?
I mean, for me, it was like I was 4, and I saw Animal for the first time from the Muppets.
Animal from the Muppets.
Yeah, because I mean, at that
Wait, what do you mean?
well, at that age, you're like 4, so like I wasn't like listening to bands yet.
Right.
And the Muppets were popping; it was everywhere.
Right.
And Animal was like my hero. Like other kids were into Spider-Man or Superman. I was into Animal. Like I would copy him. I would throw pots and pans all around the house. I wanted to be him. Yeah. So that was my first inspiration to be a drummer.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Wow.
And you got a lot of ink on you, a little bit, you know.
I have so much.
Everywhere.
I got my head done 2 years ago.
That's so dope. I love it.
What did your father say about the tattoos?
I mean, when I was young, I was like 15, and he said, the day you come home with a tattoo, I'm going to kick your ass, and I'm going to kick you out of the house.
What happened?
Did that happen?
I got a tattoo. And I hid it from him. I was 15, and then I just started collecting, and then at one point he was like, you know, like all these tattoos are going to make it so like you have no plan B to fall back on. And, you know, they're job stoppers. You'll never get a real job. And for me, I kind of reversed what he said because all I wanted to do was play music. So I said, perfect. I'm going to tattoo myself. No plan B, no out. I'm going to do what I love, you know, whether I'm rich or poor.
No Now, speaking of you love an animal, let me ask you a question because I got to get all in your beeswax, okay? So you've been totally honest about all the women you've dated, right?
Yeah.
So I have a quick question because I'm just curious. Has there ever been one that you feel like just got away?
If I like them a lot, I don't let them get away.
Any one that you would say was like the love of your life?
The love of my life is my daughter, my baby girl. But no, I mean, like I said, it's rare. I really, really, really like somebody, so I don't really let them get away if I like them a lot.
All right now.
Well, your book has some serious stories, and you touch on the plane crash. Can you tell us a little bit about that day?
I hated flying.
Yeah.
From from the first flight I ever took, I was with my mom and like telling my manager at the time that I was in my band I was like, yo, I'm gonna die in a plane crash. I just had all these weird, and he was like, what are you talking about? You don't even have the money to fly. You don't fly. So it was always something that haunted me. Fast forward to 2009, AM and I were coming home from playing a T-Mobile party in South Carolina, and it was like a last-minute flight. We booked it. We were supposed to go home the next day, and we all agreed, you know, me, my 2 best friends, and Adam, that we were going to go home that night. We went to the airport. Everything felt wrong, you know, like, yeah, like I called my pops from outside the plane, and I was like, yo, this plane is really small. I have a horrible feeling, you know, if anything happens, make sure my kids are okay. I love you. Yeah, just the weirdest thing, yeah. And sure enough, a half hour later, you know, they're, you know, calling like your son's in critical condition. He's been in a plane crash. You know, 4 people have died, and he's going to be in a burn center in Georgia. So, yeah, we were basically just taking off, and our landing gear popped, and then it forced the plane out of control. And long story short, it caught fire. We were in the air, then we came down, in the air, came down, and then finally we hit an embankment. And that was my cue. You know, every time we hit the ground, I honestly thought it was going to be lights out. Like, I was just, you know, my biggest fear in my whole, you know, world was coming true. And when it finally stopped, I had already caught fire, so I tried to rescue as many people in the plane as I could.
You were on fire?
Yeah. Because right in front of me, when the plane hit the last embankment, I mean, everything was on fire. I think the only thing that wasn't on fire was my partner, Adam, that was on the left. And I tried to get to Chris and Che in front of me. My arms caught fire. On the way out, I shook Adam. He was unconscious. Then I kicked open the emergency exit. I jumped in out of the plane, unfortunately right into the jet, which holds all the fuel. Yeah. So my whole body caught fire.
Oh, my goodness.
And then I ran. You know, I just ran for my life. Adam was smart enough to jump around the jet because he saw what happened to me when I jumped in the jet. And, yeah, along the embankment was a highway, and I just heard someone out of a car, like, shouting, like, stop, drop, and roll. And, I mean, you learn that as a kid.
Yeah.
How many people think they're going to be on fire ever?
Right.
Yeah.
So I did just that, and then, you know, Adam actually patted my feet out because they were probably the worst off. And then about 15 seconds later, the plane blew up. Yeah. So, yeah, then I spent the next 4 to 5 months in a burn center.
You feel like you're special? Because you are special after telling that story.
Thank you.
There's a reason why you're sitting here.
No,
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, for a while it was a little tough because it was wondering, you know, like, I think anytime when you walk away from a traumatic experience like that where, like, 4 people had passed, like my 2 best friends and the pilots, you know, there was, like, survival's guilt and there was all sorts of things going on. But Adam, honestly, the person I survived the accident with was a huge support system for me. You know, he was sober like 12 years. I got sober after the plane crash, completely sober.
Wow.
I went from like messing around with drugs to being in a burn center. I had 27 surgeries in 4 months, and you're forced to take pain meds. You don't want to put drugs into your body no more, you know? So, yeah, it was, you know, they always say, like, until you struggle, you don't know how strong you really are, you know? So that was like, that was definitely my awakening, you know?
Amazing. Walking your purpose, darling. Yes.
Thank you.
There's so much to live for, including your kids. Like, how have they helped you with your recovery?
Oh, I mean, they're like...
So beautiful.
Yum and yum. Wow.
They're awesome. Yeah, they were a big... Oh, thank you, guys.
Gorgeous.
They were a huge part in my recovery. Like, I had to, like... Any demons I was battling, I had to overcome for them because they were watching me, too. So, you know, you got to lead by example. And for me, it was, you know, just be strong and bounce back.
How did writing this book help you with your healing?
You know, my book is a lot of interviews with people that were close to me, too. Because I always look at a book and I read it and I was like, I wish the book could make eye contact with me because I don't know if people are lying. You know, so mine is like, the one thing about my memoirs, it's brutally honest. It's, and I felt like that's the only way it could be effective is if I was like raw, you know, and really honest. So I learned a lot about myself and, you know, dealing with my plane crash and post-traumatic, you know, some stuff like that. So I think it could be helpful for a lot of people.
Wow. Speaking of the post-trauma of something like a plane crash, if you could say anything to DJ AM right now, what would you say?
You know, the crazy thing is one of the last things he said to me was, you know, I feel like doing a bunch of drugs and saying,
wow.
So that was tough. And when he said it, I was like, well, I mean, we both feel like that after everything that's happened. Of course, like that's like the easiest thing we could do. It was actually 2 weeks after he had said that to me. He ends up, you know, dying of a drug overdose. And to come to find out later on, someone had prescribed him like Xanax, you know. Prescribing Xanax to a person who has 12 years under his belt is terrible, you know?
Yeah. Do you still fly?
No, I haven't flown since my accident. Yeah. I bought a tour bus. I'm in the tour bus when I do any touring now. Yeah. And I take the Queen Mary 2 to London, which is awesome.
Right. Sure, that's awesome.
But I always say, you know, when my kids are ready to fly, because they're the same thing, they want nothing to do with it. So, you know, I say when they're ready to fly, I'm ready to give it a shot.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's what it is.
Such a great dad.
So the doctors even told you that you'd never play drums again, which is not true. You work with everyone, and your single 100 is launching this week, you guys.
Yeah.
So who's on it?
On the single that I just released, the video drops this week. It is Kinnig, Ty Dolla $ign, Tyga, and I Am Sue.
Wow.
All right now.
So yeah, we just filmed a video, and you know, like the singles out, like Power 106 and
Wow.
92.3 The Real. Everyone's been supportive, so yeah, it's awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Excited.
And anything a doctor tells you can't do after any kind of accident means you absolutely can do. Just don't listen to them.
There's nothing more frustrating than trying to lose weight and not seeing any progress. Even worse is gaining weight when you're trying to shed those pounds. Or get this, there are secret things all around you every day sabotaging your body and making you gain weight without your even knowing it. Today, we're gonna stop them in their tracks by exposing the secret things making you fat.
Yes! So, Adrian, what's the first item that can cause weight gain?
Girl, so many women use this to spice up their look, but who knew it could be the culprit to your weight gain? It's... dun, dun, dun. Nail polish.
What?
Exactly, yes, people. Your nail polish can make you gain weight. More than 1,500 nail polishes contain a chemical called triphenol phosphate. This chemical disrupts a protein in our bodies that is key to regulating your body's metabolism and the production of fat cells. So if you're gonna paint your nails, choose natural nail polish brands instead.
Wow.
Thank you, Adrian.
Don't ever say I didn't help you.
I know.
Mental note.
This is like a PSA.
Yeah,
that's
all right,
serious.
honey. What's your secret item that
Okay.
will cause the number on our scales to rise?
Well, Tamara, I know a lot of people love to crank this up, especially in the cold seasons. It's your bedroom thermometer.
What?
Or temperature. If you're sleeping in a warm room, you could be stopping your body from burning calories.
What?
Your body contains brown fat, which is nicknamed good fat like me, because it works like a furnace in your body to warm you up. Being in a colder temperature, though, even when you're asleep, activates the brown fat to burn calories and raise your body temperature. So turn down the temp when you go to bed, but don't go crazy with it. We don't want you to catch the flu, okay?
Right.
Just make it a little cooler, more than normal, to activate the good fat.
Learn something new every day.
Dude, that Lonnie crazy, though.
Yes.
You ain't the brown fat crazy. But Jeannie, it's your turn. What's your item, girl?
Okay, guys, this one's really scary because it's something we touch almost every single day. Are you ready?
What is it?
Okay. It's your receipt. What? Okay, listen up. You know when you go shopping and you always tend to ask for a receipt, right? Just in case you gotta return it. Well, that could be making you fat.
What?
The coating on receipts contain a chemical called BPA, which increases the production of fat cells in your body. It only takes 10 seconds to absorb into your body once you touch something with BPA. So, if there's one thing you can take away from today, think twice before taking that receipt.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Wow. Right? Samara, ain't nobody got time for